Good evening from Johannesburg. I am Lihle Msimang. Welcome to tonight's episode of Let's Have It Out. So tonight, much like every other night here on ENCA, we bring you guests to host the show, interview people who might disagree with us, but we also want to give you a chance to get involved with the conversation. Remember, it is unfiltered, accountable, and accessible. And it starts roundabout now. Tonight's topic is about being woke and black. What does it mean really to be woke and black in this day and age? Well, for me personally, it's about knowing where you come from to know where you're going. It's no secret that a lot of our history has been erased and we need to get it back. If ever we're going to tackle things like land expropriation or appropriation, general wealth, and raising our children under that whole black excellence banner, you know, that thing where people dab all the time, black excellence, yes. And with the recent rise of racism, many people are acting out in a very sensational manner. You're out there with your hashtag. But what are we doing to make sure that we rise economically as black people? Tonight, my guest is Malaika Lesego Samora Mahlatsi. Phew. Wow, what a name. But she is better known as Malaika wa Azania, author of memoirs of Born Free, master student at Rhodes University, Fees Must Fall, and daughter of Dipuo. And we want you to get involved with this conversation. Here's how.
Tweet us at ENCA using the hashtag LHIO. Call us on 011-759-6340 or send us a WhatsApp or WhatsApp video on 082-884-6370. And make sure those videos are no longer than 30 seconds, please.
Okay, so like I said, we have Malaika wa Azania, and we're talking about being woke. Hi, ma'am.
Hey, dear.
How are you?
I'm okay, and yourself?
I'm fantastic, thank you. So, for those people who don't know who Malaika is, please tell us, who is Malaika?
Whoa, that's a very difficult question.
I know, right?
I never really know what to say. I never really know what to say when someone says, please tell us who Malaika is.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think I've got a very standard response to that. Malaika wa Azania is a black woman from the township of Soweto.
Oh, me too, Hava.
Where from?
Middlelands.
Middlelands, same
here.
Yes,
zone 2.
Okay, no, sharp. So I'm from Zone 8, Middlelands, and I'm a student at Rhodes University. I'm currently pursuing my master's degree in geography. But more than anything, I am the daughter of Dipuo Mahlatsi, a very phenomenal woman.
Amazing woman.
An amazing woman.
Yes.
We lost her a year ago, but I'm her daughter. And more than anything else, that for me is the most important thing about who I am.
Yes. So now, this whole woke thing, hashtag woke, hashtag black magic, hashtag black girl excellence, hashtag all of these things. What does it mean for you?
I mean, look, I've always found this very idea of being woke to be a little bit problematic for me, at least, right? Because I think as black people, we are constantly in a state of learning and unlearning.
Yes.
You know, when you grow up in a very violent society, in a society that is deeply patriarchal, deeply racist, and all of that, like we have grown up in, you learn a lot of things that are very problematic, and they become part of who you are. So we are socialized in communities that themselves are broken from years and years of many deeply problematic things and violences that have been inflicted upon them. And so we are raised in very broken homes. We are raised by parents who themselves are broken, by a system that continuously dehumanizes them, a system that is very anti-black in its nature. And so they learn certain things that they pass on to us, right, through how they raise us. In the schools where we come from, we deal with things like institutionalized racism, especially if you go to historically white institutions and so on. And so we are located in that society. Right? And so naturally, as we grow up as people, as I am Malaika now, there are many things that I've learned over the years that are very problematic, that I'm constantly on a path of unlearning. And I think that for me, being called woke is a burden. You are placing a very huge burden on me.
Because we're expecting
my
you to
right?
know all
Yes,
all
because
the
I'm still very deeply human, but I'm also still a very black person in every sense of the word.
But what does that mean? Like you said that we raise our children to be un-black, quote unquote.
Not necessarily that we we raise our children to be un-black. What I'm saying is that we raise children in a society that is not of our own choosing, right? So black people raise children in a society, so mothers, black mothers who raise black children in a society that constantly reminds them and their children that they are not enough.
Yes.
That to be black is to be, you know, it's a mark on your humanity and. And so we are raised by people who themselves have got that kind of brokenness that they then impart on us. And so there's a lot of unlearning that needs to happen in, you know, amongst us as black people, even now, even as we are raised by phenomenal people like my mom, who I really think the world of, right?
Yeah.
She also had her own brokenness that she also passed on to me, and the society, I mean, passes that brokenness on to me as well.
Yeah.
And so I'm constantly unlearning things, constantly learning new things that for me, I feel are part of, you know, a journey into being a deeply conscious black person. But I don't think I'm yet there where I can fully say, I can claim that and boldly wear the tag that I'm a woke black person and all of that.
But wouldn't you say that knowing all of this information, that does make you woke? Because you're unlike a lot of people, you're one person that knows your history, thankfully, because of your mom, that knows how you got to Soweto and what Soweto is and what it was made for. Doesn't that, in its sense, make you woke?
I mean, I don't think being conscious of my history and knowing parts of my history, I mean, I don't think there's anybody who can sit here and very boldly claim to have a monopoly over this, you know, knowledge, and that the knowledge is authentic and legitimate. We learn in schools, we are taught in schools, we even read the books that we read, even some of the books that we read that we regard as being woke themselves are very deeply problematic.
So
right?
they are unwoke.
So it's not that they are unwoke. I mean, I don't think, for me, it's not a question of being woke or unwoke. For me, I mean, I think that's a very absolutist way of engaging something where we often say, we tend to be very absolutist, right? Somebody is either is absolutely progressive or absolutely reactionary.
And I think before you unpack your answer, please unpack what that means.
Okay, so when we say people are absolute, like we say people is absolutely revolutionary, right? Is this very false idea that we have in our heads that someone is, I mean, progressive in everything. So progressive on the race question, the gender question, they can do no wrong. Ideologically, they are very superior, they are very pure, and they are, you know, exceptional. Or we can say they are completely reactionary, and that is, you know, they are very right-wing, and so on and so forth. But I mean, I don't think there really is a person who can claim to be a completely revolutionary person, an absolutely progressive person. I think there are things, I think there are things about me that are progressive, but I also know that there are things about me that are very deeply problematic, that I'm constantly unlearning. And I think it's the same about even people that we love, people we adore, people like, you know, Steve Biko, people like Thomas Sankara and so on. We need to be able to analyze them and to view them as human beings who did the best that they could under particular circumstances, but human beings nonetheless. And as a result, because they're human beings, they can't be absolutely progressive. There are things about them which are not progressive, and it's the same thing with me. So the idea of being said to be woke, perhaps it scares me a bit, right? Because I think it denies me of an opportunity to actually really learn in the process. And so when you place the burden of being woke on me, you're also placing a burden whereby I can't make faults in my thinking, in my ideologies, in my views, and my philosophical outlook. And I think that's not the kind of responsibility I want to take on.
Oh, wow. Okay. We will have more of this conversation with Malaika right after this break.